first week of finals, back at it again. How are you feeling ahead of this campaign?
Yeah, well, I think the group's excited. It's obviously a short season, AFLW, but there's no doubt things elevate a bit when you get to this time of year, and obviously coming up against Brisbane, who we've got great history and rivalry with, so it should be a cracking game.
Played Brisbane early a few weeks ago. What do you take from that game?
Yeah, well, it was a good game. We had a quarter where we sort of let ourselves down a bit, so probably just our consistency across the game was what hurt us on that occasion. So that's clearly something we need to address. But generally, with Brisbane, they're just high pressure games. So yeah, that's probably the main takeaway. Just be ready to expect high pressure, high speed game, and I think the fans will enjoy it. Hopefully.
You've got Nigel Allen coming back this week as well.
Yes, yeah, no, obviously Naj's been out for 3, so that's not ideal for her. But the good part of that was she's been able to put in a little bit of work. She actually was a crook for the first week of it, so she probably wouldn't have played footy that week anyway. So to get her back at this time of year is really handy, definitely.
Neve Kelly, I understand that she's been in a bit of a moon boot all week and light duties and. Yeah,
no moon boot, but no, she's fine. She's been managed as a number of our players are every week. We just sort of try to get it just right, but she's 100% ready to go.
A couple of other girls had the weekend off and watched Erin play her last game. How exciting was it, I guess, to see Erin get such a reception that she did?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we were away, obviously, but yeah, it's an outstanding career, and they obviously sent her off in style, so that's appropriate and fitting.
What about the rivalry between us and Brisbane? Obviously, the first grand final 2019 as well. The record, sort of sways towards the Lions, but yeah, do you read too much into records, or heading into such big games?
Well, I think both teams, have been really consistent across the whole existence of the competition. So that's meant that we've been able to match up in some big games over the journey. The recent history is in their favour. So last year, I think they were probably the dominant side in season 7, and they got us a couple of times. And then this year's game was close. Any time it's under a goal is a little bit of luck. When we won one against North with a bit of luck, and they got that one. So ultimately, it's interesting, but not that relevant. I'd reckon they're probably in the same boat. We know it's going to be a great matchup, and what's happened previously adds some colour, but probably doesn't impact the outcome all that much, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, if we could just track back to Neve, was there any concern for this week, obviously, around a foot injury? Or?
No, she hasn't got a foot injury. I don't know where you got that one from. Sorry.
It's a bit of a cork. I talked to her on Tuesday. She had a bit of
Yeah. There's no moon boot or anything like that. So that's why I was a bit off track when you asked the question, but she'll be fine. The short answer is she'll be fine. So yeah.
She's had a great season in general, though.
Yeah, outstanding breakout year for Neve, and we were really excited by her potential when she came over. And last year, unfortunately, she hurt her shoulder in her second game for us, but was able to come back and play out the season, which was great. But for her to have an uninterrupted run at it and start to demonstrate some of the capacity she's got, it's been exciting. Yeah.
Getting within 3 points of Brisbane up at Springfield.
How
much confidence do you have playing them at Norwood instead this time?
Yeah, home ground is good because obviously you don't travel, but probably the most important thing for us is, I don't know if it'll impact the game per se, but I love the fact that we're going to play in front of our fans, and they've been amazing all year for multiple years. So to be able to play, finals in front of your home fans, that's huge. It's a great part of being a good club, and obviously the reward for finishing high up the ladder.
Sophie Conway and Ali Anderson played pretty well that game.
Yeah.
Plans for them this time? Yeah,
I'll try and negate them as best you can, but good players tend to play pretty well. So, we'll try to negate some of their better players. They'll try to negate some of our better players, but in the end, it'll probably shake out probably on the outside of that. So, the depth across your squad and the ability to have strong performers across the ground is probably going to be more relevant than any one or two individuals, I reckon.
You've had such a strong season. Do you think we might see a 4th cup out there in that trophy cabinet at the end of the
Yeah, well, that's the plan. When you put your nomination in, you're trying to win it. So we'll see if we can win it. But clearly, what we've seen this year is the standard of the comp, not only at the top end but right across, has increased again. So there's an evenness about the competition, and clearly, there's a number of really strong contenders, and we'd put ourselves in that category. So if we can play our best footy, then why not?
sorry to ask again.
Yeah, it's okay.
6 ins, obviously really important. How good is it for those players to come back fresh, but also how important is it for the other guys on the outside that are playing pretty good footy but didn't make the team?
Yeah, well, that's, there's a bit of, people probably read more into that selection last week than was needed, really. We picked the team that we thought was going to win the game against West Coast, and the players that came in were all in really good form and had probably deserved opportunity prior to that. So the great thing about that is, things happen down the stretch, and so if and when any of those players are called upon, they don't have to go back too far to remember what AFLW intensity feels like, because they just played it last week. And equally, the ones that didn't play, the best management for them to be ready for this week was for them not to play. They're ready now, so back they come.